So what's a reposado? Reposado means rested. This is a tequila that is spending some time in a barrel. If it hits 60 days, if we go into a barrel for 60 days and we come out just shy of a year, we are a reposado. Reposados, I believe, is the mid-70s when that category came to be, that they were classifying reposados. So what that means is for so many years, I mean, tequila's been around for a few hundred years, but for so many years, there wasn't a classification of reposado. I'm sure they were doing something to change some of those flavors with some barrel, but in the 70s, we start to really see this program of reposados. So reposado is a great example of you want a little bit of barrel contribution, but you still want that agave to shine through. We've got some great añejos that have the agave presence still there, even some extra añejos, but the reposado is gonna be light. It's rested, the color should be light, and hopefully these are all unmanipulated, so we're not changing the color, we're not adding any vanilla flavoring. We want the barrels to meld with the agave, to meld with that Blanco tequila, and to produce something exquisite. So we've got some brands like Ocho. Ocho's Reposado is aged 64 days. They're playing on the 8 and 8, but 64 days. They want a little bit of barrel, but they want that agave to really be the star of the show. What type of barrels? A lot of times we're seeing ex-bourbon barrels, American white oak, but it doesn't have to be. It could be French oak, it could be port, it could be sherry casks, it could be brand new barrels, it could be very old barrels. All of these things can come into play. There are some brands that are doing barrel blending where they'll go into a barrel for 3 months and then move it over to a different type of barrel for 3 months. And then you're getting 6 months still, and still a reposado with different flavors of layering with those barrels. A good reposado is delicious to drink by itself. You're gonna get that agave. And then you're gonna get barrel contributions and really complement the agave flavor. There's so many great reposados. Just because they're not featured in this video doesn't mean they're not great. There's a lot of great ones out there. Crotalo. This brand had an original iteration years ago. They brought it back not too long ago. Different distillery. Ana Maria Romero is behind the scenes here making this tequila. Really, really great reposado. This is Crotalo. This is one that if you know, you know. I'm gonna imagine that a lot of people aren't familiar with Crotalo because they are very boutique. They make X amount of bottles a year, and when they're gone, they're gone. And they sell out every year. Arizona, California, a huge following for Crotalo. This is their reposado. This reposado is aged a total of 11 months. They're doing a double barrel program. They're starting in one type of a barrel, and then they're moving them over to another type of a barrel. I think they're going 5 months and 6 months. I mean, that's a strong reposado. You're gonna get a lot more barrel contributions and flavor there, as those barrels are gonna give life to that tequila for a very rich, delicious flavor. El Tequila Reposado Gran Reserva. This is one of my top 5, maybe top 3 reposados. Love this brand. I promote this brand all the time. None of these brands pay me. I promote these brands because I truly believe in them and want to see them win. El Tequila is definitely one of those brands. This reposado is amazing. 100% additive free, but there's a sweetness coming through here for this reposado. A caramel aroma on the nose here, 100% additive free. There's nothing manipulated here. This is a pure agave flavor coming through melded with these barrels. They're also blending in around 15% of their añejo into this. Some brands will do that. By CRT, if I have a reposado, I could add 90% of an añejo into it, but since I've got reposado, I've got to classify it as reposado. So what they're doing here to enrich that flavor is they're adding about 15% or so of their añejo, which is delicious. El Tequila. Find it, buy it, try it. And here's another brand that I promote all the time because the owners are some of my best friends, and I think this tequila is some of the best around. This is their single barrel reposado. They've got a blended barrel reposado, and then they have the single barrel. They've been on the show a few times talking about it. I've done some other videos on single barrels, but this Valon single barrel reposado is absolutely amazing. There are a lot of great reposados out there. If you're coming from the whiskey world, I would probably bypass Blancos for now. We're gonna get back to them, so I want you to experience what a Blanco is, but I'm gonna introduce you starting at a reposado and then take you to an añejo, an extra añejo. So I wanna encourage you to find some great reposados. Tequila Matchmaker, use that app. They've got some great ratings there, great notes. A lot of people are trying a lot of tequilas and they're sharing with you what they think of them. So utilize that app. You can follow me on Instagram at Agave Social Club. Make sure you're listening to the podcast, and thanks for watching.